Hi everyone, Dave here from Tracktion, and we're going to do a quick overview of some of the new features in Waveform 9. So one of the first things we've added are a bunch of customization features. So you can now build custom interfaces for plugins, and then you can view these in a new rack environment so they appear stacked on top of each other, which gives you a real kind of quick way to simplify some of those interfaces. So if I just run through some of the other ones we've got here, you can kind of see how creative you can get with these. And these are completely editable, so you can add controls as you like and then assign them to parameters.
So you can change the look entirely, the look?
Yeah, so we've got a bunch of skins in there, so we'll have different style knobs and things, and then you can use custom images to set backgrounds and any other controls you want. We've expanded on our progression, our pattern generator that we added last year. So one of the ways you can now use this is we've got a chord track, so you can specify chords in clips and then you can have your patterns follow those. So you could have several patterns, maybe an arp, a bass line, some chords and some melodies on several tracks, and then you can just quickly change chords in the chord track and they all update, which enables you to kind of audition a whole song really quickly. We've added some macro parameters, so you can now create a macro and then use that to control several plugin parameters here, and you can set those, the offset and value of those, so you can kind of quickly build up controls, and then you can use your macros in your faceplates as well, so you've got one big nice looking knob that can control your plugin completely. We've also expanded our automation modulations, so we have a bunch of new modifiers now. We've got LFOs, and then we've also added breakpoint editor, we've got step editor, an envelope follower, so you can take the audio from a track to control parameters, some random modifiers, and also MIDI trackers, so you can take MIDI input to control things. Also, in terms of content, we're adding a bunch of new drum loops that you can use that have been fantastically recorded in 24 tracks, and so you can drag in those 24 tracks and then start to build your own drum mix from those. Another cool feature that we've added is something called track loops, which is essentially a preset of a track with an audio preview. So now, instead of just looking through names of your presets, you can actually hear what they sounded like, and then when you drag that preset in, you can either drag in the original track, so that might be like a synth and a bunch of effects on it, or you can just use the audio loop. So it depends what your kind of creative style is. The other big new thing we've added is a multi-sampler instrument and a bunch of tools to kind of aid creation with that. So if I find one of our drum loops here and then drag that into a track, you can see it's asking me, do I want to insert the clip or all the tracks? So if we bring it in as a clip, it's just audio now. Turn this down a little bit. And then we have this new button here called multi-sampler, which is going to automatically slice this up into samples. So here's the new multi-sampler instrument. You can see it's done the transient detection, and then we can simply create a MIDI clip from that into a bunch of sound layers, and the original has turned into MIDI, and then we can just play that back. And you can see it's just going to go through that progression, and then you can just mess with the samples in here as much as you want. We've got a bunch of envelopes, so we've got 2 envelopes that you can assign. We've got per voice modulation, LFOs, and also MIDI.
Can you multi-sample, or can you layer sounds together? Yep,
so that's what this did here, is it created a bunch of sound layers, and then you can arrange those in our multi-editor here, so
you can split
it's really
everything
quick and easy to drag things around. And we've also got a bunch of capture tools as well, so you can record the input to a kind of scratch pad and then quickly use that, and we can also now capture the output of the system, so it's really quick and easy to sample sounds and then be creative with them. And I think that's about it for now.
And you have also RetroMod. I see something.
Oh yeah. So we're starting a new range of synthesizers which are based on classic analog gear. They've got huge sample packs with them. The RetroMod, the first one, I think it's about 7.5 gigs of samples, and there's about 300 presets in there. But we've tried to kind of keep all the complexity really narrow, so they're quick and easy to use. So you've got this relatively slim front panel, but these are all macro controls, so they will be affecting a lot of the sound quality.
So it's all sample based?
Yeah. And then so we have our kind of oscillator sections, filters here, some classic analog, unison controls. There's XY pads with multiple assignments, and then we also expose all the effects units as well. So you've got your EQ and then all the effects from the Action engine that people know and love from Biotech and Collective.
So this will be a separate purchase?
Yes, this will be a separate purchase, and there'll be a whole series of them throughout the year.
And Wavefrom will be available soon, or?
Yes, so we're in public beta at the moment, so people have been testing it out for the past month, and we're hoping to ship in the next 2 weeks.
And there is already an upgrade price available, or?
I'm not 100% sure on pricing, but it'll be, if you've been using Waveform, then the upgrade price will be very reasonable.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.